Okay. Hello, everyone. Donna Whittington here, and of course, your hostess of the Color of Jazz show, and it is the Color of Jazz internet TV show. And we do this every Sunday. Tonight, however, I have just an amazing lineup. I'm going to start the show off with Karen Briggs, and Karen will be here real shortly. She's already in Skype. She's waiting for me to bring her on, and then after Karen, we're going to hang out with Walter Beasley. We're going to hang out with Ken Navarro. And then we're going to bring up the rear with Paul Brown. So, woo! I think I don't have enough to do in my life. So what I want to do, folks, just so I can prove that I really do have Karen Briggs here, I'm going to bring up Karen. And of course, hey, Karen, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Awesome.
Oh,
Awesome. Well, folks, Karen Briggs in the house. And of course, we're going to have some fun with Karen, and we're going to hear some amazing music. And let me just let me check all my sounds and make sure everything is right. And it looks like it is. Woohoo! All right. And then, folks, hey, this is the great time to get in the chat with Karen and I. Karen is already in the chat. I need to do the same thing, so I'll get in there as well. But get in the chat with Karen. Please don't wait for me to ask questions. Do that on your own. She's there. And, of course, Carl has already jumped in the chat. Hey, Carl, how are you? Carl is from Florida, Karen, and he hangs out. Yes. And we've got folks already on the show and ready to hang out with us. So what I want to do, and I want to give people a chance to get in the chat and to get on the show, I am going to head over to Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff, and over to on your page as well, Karen. And what I'm going to do, first of all, before we start chatting about Karen, I want to play some music from her CD, and let's get that rolling. I've got your CD here. I've got all these CDs of folks that are going to be on the show tonight and next week. But here's Karen. Check this out, folks. So, this is her CD. I'm going to bring the camera. There you go, so that you can see it. This is what I am going to be suggesting that you pick up this evening after the show, and so that you can hear all of her music. It's amazing. And of course, Sochestral Groove is the CD. All right, so definitely want to make sure that you get that Sochestral Groove, and you'll hear why it's groovy and a lot of soul in there. So while we're getting started, Karen, I'm going to put on Amazing Grace, not because it's Sunday, but because it's amazing. And I got to tell you, I love this version of Amazing Grace, and folks, you will too. So I want to get that going, and then we're going to be, of course, in the chat. Go ahead and start chatting with Karen, and folks are going to get in chat, so we're going to go ahead and put some music on. So Amazing Grace, of course, from Karen Briggs, from her Sochestral CD, Sochestral Grooves CD, okay? And Amazing Grace. Enjoy this, folks. Get in the chat with Karen. Nice. I love that. Just absolutely amazing, Karen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Tell us about that song and why you chose to put it on your CD.
Well, I grew up in Portsmouth, Virginia. Um, and when I started playing violin, that was one of the first songs that I actually attempted to embellish
Wow.
and to approach it in the way that I did. I'd actually recorded it on my very first album, which was way back a long time ago, probably when I was 19 years old. I started
Wow.
that project. But this song, Amazing Grace, was performed at so many churches and so many weddings
Oh, I bet.
in and around Virginia and other places as well. And in fact, when I went to play amateur night at the Apollo,
Ah,
that song won me, oh gosh, I won 4 contests on that one song.
wow.
A lot of people just really like it and they felt moved by it. And my grandfather, it was Bishop Frank Briggs Sr., and he's also a trumpet player. My father's a sax player.
Wow.
A lot of music going on in church. So that was my mom. She sang in church, and she also played a lot of the gospel music that I heard around the house, which at that time was like James Cleveland, Mahalia Jackson, Aretha. And those were the influences, the vocal influences that encouraged me to attempt that kind of embellishment and that kind of approach to Amazing Grace. And so many people liked it. It's something that I have actually recorded on 2 different projects in my career.
Wow. Awesome. You know what? It's absolutely beautiful. I love the way that you play that on your violin. And I love violin anyhow, but I like the intro and I like how moving the that song is, Amazing Grace.
Yes, yes. I think it's a type of lyric I feel that is a release for a lot of people, and I've in my lifetime, at a very young age, before I really understood why, I would play it. I'd see grown men just stand right there and cry, and I wasn't. It took me years to figure out.
Right?
And then I realized the lyric must have been somewhat of a release for a lot of people, even though it was being performed instrumentally. Because so many people knew the lyrics because it's such a classic in this country and abroad as well. I
Yes.
feel that is, somehow people got the message. It somehow get into people's souls, and I don't
Yes.
know, they had an emotional reaction to it. A lot of people. Amazing.
Oh, absolutely. And it is. It's just moving and you can kind of get you can feel the shivers and it's just like, oh, wow. Um,
Music.
beautiful.
Language, if you know no other language but that, it speaks to everyone in any country I've ever been to. Whether I knew what the national language was there or not, everyone always uh, seemed to understand me musically, and that's been so important.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? Let's go back just a little bit. And I want to talk about your beginnings because it's important that we talk about how you got started with the music. And of course, we just heard that your family, you come from a very musical family. And so, yes, you know. So I want to start there.
Okay, well, as I explained a few seconds ago, I performed. Initially, I didn't perform. I just was a great listener, and I appreciated music, and had no idea I had any real knack for it until very recent. I guess when I was about in junior high school, that's when I took up violin. I explained my father played sax, so I heard a lot of jazz. My elder sister and brother played a lot of jazz and R&B in the house, and a lot of Motown. And my mother played a lot of gospel. She played salsa and Caribbean music in the house. And I can recall a story when I was very, very young, like a toddler. My mother was vacuuming the living room, and she was playing. I remember that it was a cha-cha. This was from her days of listening to salsa. And this song, something about the progression of the chord changes would just get up under my skin. She was vacuuming the floor and playing this album in the background, and suddenly I just started to cry. And she looked up and she noticed that I was crying, And she asked me why was I crying. And I couldn't tell her why because I didn't understand anything about my own emotions at that age, of course. And so she turned back on the vacuum cleaner and continued and started the music again. And when the same chord progressions came up again, I cried again. And I don't know, she didn't try to explain why, but something told her to just shut off the music and keep on vacuuming the floor. And that's what she did. And I didn't cry anymore. And I recall that now, and I realize those same kind of chords actually, they strike me a certain way even now, all
Yes.
these years later. There's certain sounds in music. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. It's just something that has always been there. And it was actually, it became more pronounced once I joined the orchestra, which was not, it was an intentional move to be a violinist. My parents didn't force me to do it.
Wow.
Once we got in junior high school, we were allowed to choose an elective. And the electives that were shown to us in elementary school at that time were marching band, orchestra, and home economics.
Mm.
So two of the three came to try to recruit students. And home economics was very interesting to me. It was about organization and cooking and sewing and things that I felt interested in at the time. And I thought, wow, I'd like to do that. Then the orchestra came, and they were highly interesting. I had a phenomenal teacher who was directing this group. Her name was Geraldine Harding. And they not only played classical music by Mozart and Beethoven, but they also played some of the, well, then they were older songs, but R&B songs of my time by groups like the Spinners. They played Barry White's Love Theme. They played A Fifth of Beethoven. They played the traditional Fifth of Beethoven. They played Eine Kleine by Mozart. A lot of people have heard that. They played the Canon in D by Pachelbel.
Yes.
They played Duke Ellington. And they had this guy come out with this huge afro, this light-skinned dude, and he sang, "It takes a fool to learn that love don't love
Woo!
nobody."
Right?
All the girls were in the crowd. They were just screaming, this guy with his afro and he's light skinned, that was what was in style at the time.
Right?
Sitting there observing all of this, and I thought, wow, they were really, really good. But I had no intention of joining the orchestra. However, what was announced was that if we signed up for the summer school class, we would be automatically placed in an advanced class once the regular school year started. And that year, they were scheduled to take a trip to New York because this was in Virginia. And now I have an older sister who had remained in New York even though my family had moved to Virginia. We left New York. That's where I was born. But once they left, it was like, okay, I want to see my sister. So I joined the orchestra thinking I would play good enough to make the trip.
Right?
The only reason I ended up playing violin initially.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
That is. I so love to hear people's journeys, their musical journeys and how they get to that instrument.
Here it is 37 years later, and I'm still doing it.
Nice. That's what's up.
Who would have guessed?
That's what's up. And
Phenomenal trip. It really has. Phenomenal. I can't say that my life has been ordinary by any stretch. It's been, I had no idea these kind of things were going to come to my life as a result of that one decision. Because my mother, when I told her I wanted to take home economics, she just told me to choose something else. There was no explanation. And she did not say what to choose. She just said choose something else. And so I
nice.
said, well, I'll do the orchestra.
Wow.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Mom.
Right. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. We appreciate that because Karen, you're just so amazing on the violin. And let me tell you when I found you. When I found you, um, I don't know who turned me on um, to the rap, if you will. I'm not so much into rap music. There's a certain amount that kind of just piques my interest. However, when I heard Hidden Beach, okay, now of course, knowing back in what is it, the 80s or maybe 90s for Soul to Soul.
Yes, that was 90s.
Okay, but I didn't know who you were then in Soul to Soul. I love the violin music when you were playing with Soul to Soul, and But it was Hidden Beach Records that you just really stood out for me. And I mean, your violin was so up in front and center, and just you were there and present. And my God, that right there just was just that's what did it for me. And so then I started looking. Okay, who is this? Got to find out who this person is, and of course, and it's you, and it's amazing. And of course, I've got Renee in the house. Renee, are you from Italy? Let me know if you're from Italy. And I've been chatting. Renee was kind of listening to the show earlier today and requested. Oh, he's from Texas. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want to displace you if you weren't in Italy, but we did have some folks in the show from Italy. Of course, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning there, so I'll be surprised if somebody is up. Although that does happen. But Renee does like Gangster's Paradise.
Oh yes, that's an all-time favorite for a lot of people. It's one of my favorite as well. I think of all of the guest artists who recorded that series or volume
Yes.
by Hidden Beach. That was the only song that was recorded that I know of for that volume of projects in which I was the only instrumentalist featured on a song, just me by myself.
Yes. Yes.
He told me, and I didn't realize it. But that was one of those songs. They just caught me on the right day. I walked in the studio, and I pretty much did the whole solo in like one take
Ugh.
from overdubs. And I think I was going through a little something then, and sometimes that is the very thing, the emotional aspects of my life that will drive my playing so often. And that day, I just walked in there, and unlike a lot of recordings, I just walked in there and just played it, and it's like we did some overdubs, and I was done.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like that.
Well, you know what? I promised Renee from Texas, sorry Renee, not from Italy, Renee from Texas, that I would play Gangster's Paradise. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to go back to Orchestral Groove. Folks, this is the CD you got to get. Karen, tell us, where can we get your music?
Well, right now you can download Orchestral Groove as a digital download at CD Baby.
Okay.
And my live performances are where you can get the hard copies. And I am restocking up. I will be at the Briggs Jazz Festival in Pennsylvania for those of you who either know someone or live there yourself. I'm going to be doing that festival. I think I have 4 performances in that one festival this
Wow.
beginning on the 23rd with Jazz in Pink. I will play with Chieli Minucci in special effects. I will also do my own show with Full Orchestra.
Nice.
And I will do the jam session that week. I think that's the last night, maybe the 28th or 29th is the last night jam session. I did it last year. As a matter of fact, I did the jam session and performed with special effects with Chieli Minucci. And I guess I feel that it was a jam session. I played like Sweet Georgia Brown with 5 guitarists, phenomenal guitarists.
Wow.
And we got such a rousing ovation, and I feel strongly that that must have been what pushed them to invite me back this year. And I'm really excited to go back again. But I said all of that to say that my live performances are where I usually sell my hard copy CDs.
Yes. 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 And of course, I'm all about the hard copy CDs, folks. I am old school. I always talk about this on the show. I am old school, and I prefer you have a CD and that you get it directly from Karen. That's just me.
Yes,
So,
I like it better because well, my sister, my younger sister is an artist, and I put one of her paintings of me inside of the artwork. It's the artwork. There's a couple of artists whose artwork I used in the cover. A lot of great photography there, and of course all of the credits. That's one of the things that I really
yes,
miss about the new digital revolution when it comes to selling music. A lot of times we don't get to see the credits and all the
that's
other
right.
musicians and participants in a project. And when you get the hard copy of a project, that's when you really get to see all of that stuff.
Absolutely. And that's my beef with the whole downloads. And my other beef with downloads are not only that you do not get to see the credits and the thank yous and all that wonderful things and the producers, um, you also, if you're downloading 1 and 2 songs, folks, I'm gonna hop on my soapbox here, but if you're downloading 1 and 2 songs, you miss the whole Karen Briggs experience. Okay, please. Get the entire CD. Get the hard copy if you can, okay? If you can, but get it. Either way, of course, get it means legally. Okay.
Such a large variety of music up there because I've played so many different styles and genres and with so many different people. There are so many diverse ideas in my head about. I mean, making a CD is a very difficult thing to do when you try to decide what is the direction. So
Yes.
the ongoing signature, I guess, would be my approach to the violin. But the songs, there's music there for the Yanni audience. There's music there for the audiences that knew of me before there was Yanni,
Right.
including, but not finished with Amazing Grace. There's the R&B stuff. There's some original material on there. You know, there's just a nice variety. Stuff that's kind of more new agey would be songs like Triumph or
Yes.
Shahrazad's Groove is on there.
Yes.
I think a lot of people will find something on there that they can relate to. And there's more to come.
Yay, we're so excited. Okay, guys, we got to get some music going because I only get an hour with Karen, and yeah, I will be bringing her back. But for now, let's work with what we have. And okay, Renee, this is for you. Everybody, get in the chat with Karen. This is your opportunity. Please take advantage of it. I'm gonna play Gangster's Paradise, and folks, get in the chat, and then we'll be back. So enjoy this. Okay, folks, what did you think about that? And of course, that is just absolutely amazing. And yes, where's my microphone? There we go. So that was absolutely amazing, Karen. And again, Renee, that was for you. And of course, Renee in Texas. There you go.
Texas.
Yes, he's in Texas.
I think I'm going to be playing in Austin sometime in the near future. I need to look that up or post it or something. But I really do believe I'm going to be doing something in Texas very soon, like within the next month or two. I
Awesome.
believe it's in Austin, but I'll have to look that up and just get the details posted somewhere where you can see it.
Right on. And of course, we've got to get that, got to get you guys there. And let's make sure that if you are in an area where Karen is playing, then you got to go see her. You got to go see her live and get the full effect. Karen, I don't know if you remember this. A couple years back, you probably don't remember this. You see a lot of people. You came to Denver at the Soiled Dove, and I believe you were pregnant then.
Oh, I sure was. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
And so that's when I first got to meet you in person.
That was that day we were supposed to talk then, and we didn't get a chance to, did we?
Right, right. And so you were with Tizer.
Forgive me, you just have to know that I was so pregnant. I even did that date. I mean, I think there were 2 interviews I was supposed to do that day, and just the flight alone was enough where when I got there, if I was going to play that show that night, I needed to rest.
Wow, yes, absolutely. You know, and of course, women, we know that. We know when you're pregnant. We definitely understand. And so no worries there. So I want to play some more music from your Sochestro Grooves CD. And so I want to put on, and you guys, you got to get the CD. It's amazing. I love purple. I absolutely love purple.
Yeah, that was a mood. Purple is a mood. Yeah,
Right?
I just thought, I don't know, the music came first, and it came upon waking up one day, and it was just a mood. It was raining outside or cloudy, and that's not something we get very often in Los Angeles. So
Right.
it was just a mood that came over me, and the music, just the whole song played all at once. And I put it down as soon as I could in some way, form, or fashion so that it could be something I could work on later. And I came back later and worked on it. I could completely relate to the mood well after the day I first felt it. And it's sort of like pink and blue mixed together if you can relate color to moods. That's how
Awesome.
I kind of saw that. And that's why I called it purple.
Awesome. Awesome.
And
Well,
I love the song too. It's a nice groove. And I love the guitar work on it.
hold on one moment.
It was just very laid back. It seemed like all the musicians who participated in the project, they were just really into the whole aspect of just how to lay back down. Because we did it live in a live situation as opposed to, just recording and, different ones showing up when the others weren't there. We were kind of all there at the same time. And it was just an amazing day just recording the song.
Nice. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's put on purple so you guys can hear what I absolutely love and what I want you to get. And that, of course, is the whole entire CD. And as you saw in that picture, Karen Briggs, the website is there. Make sure you're going to her Reverb Nation website. And I'll put that up again, and I'll put it in the chat. And we'll get that going. And Ken Navarro is trying to contact me, so we're going to put some music on, and I'm going to chat with Ken here because Ken will be coming on the show later on. So let me put on purple, folks. Get in the chat with Karen. Enjoy this. Very, very nice. And purple. So I hope you guys like that. Let me turn that one down. I don't want to play that one just yet. So that was Purple, guys, from Sochestral Groove. And I like that a lot. And I tend to like the moody music, I guess, so to speak. So one of my favorites. Yes.
It must be a girl thing, though.
Right?
Guys have moods too. I think the first big compliment I got on that song did come from a guy, so moods are not just relegated to us.
Right on. Very true. And Karen, you had your violin. Do you still have that out?
Yeah, it's right here. I was just looking at it because I just had it repaired. The pickup on it here, the baby pulled this little wire out right,
Oh.
and I had to have it soldered back on. I had left the West Coast and went to the East Coast to play a concert before I even found that out. It took a minute. I was afraid to do it myself because, I don't know, I didn't want to damage the instrument or the pickup for that matter. But I got it fixed just about a week ago, and I finally plugged it in just a couple of days ago to make sure it was done correctly, and it was. And then I had to get my bow re-haired. Some people have seen me perform live know I burn through bows quite frequently. This hair right here just comes right off of the instrument. So, and then in this case, the grip, this little area right here on the bow, if you can see that, that started unraveling. So I had to get all of this stuff repaired on the bow, on two bows I had to get it done. I always carry at least 2 or 3 with me wherever I go. I used to take 2 violins, but because of the airlines putting such limitations, now I just take a huge risk and just take 1 violin and hope that nothing happens to it when I go to perform. So, I was just pulling it out today just to give it a dry run, make sure everything's in working order, and you just happen to catch me with it up here.
Wow. Can you give us a dry run?
Okay, let's see. What should I play? I've got to take my trademark and take my earring off. A lot of times people see me and they're like, you're missing an earring. If I wear this while I'm playing, you see it rattles on the instrument.
Right.
I have to take off 1 earring, so I have a whole wardrobe of just a single earring for me to wear, especially the bigger ones from my shows. And usually the second one, I end up losing it a lot of times. That's also why I try not to wear expensive rings when I go on stage because I end up taking them off and leaving them.
Oh.
Or someone has gotten some very nice rings from me.
Ooh. Y'all, if you found that ring, give it back.
Yeah, hello. Lost a couple of dresses too. Give those back. How about the red dress from the Acropolis? Can I tell you that disappeared as soon as I finished taping that concert?
Oh.
In Greece, it disappeared, never to be seen again. It was made by a phenomenal designer by the name of Linda Stokes, and that dress disappeared. We got mobbed by the crowd. This was before Yanni became Yanni.
Right.
Right then, and he kind of got in a limo and left, and we were the band. So we just kind of were waiting to get on the bus, and the crowd from the Acropolis show, they mobbed us. We put everything down to sign autographs, and I picked up what was left of what I put down, and by the time I got to the hotel, I already started missing it when we got on the bus back to the hotel, and that dress just mysteriously disappeared. Someone just took it.
Did you at least get to wear it once?
Say again?
Did you at least get to wear the red dress once?
Yeah, it's documented in the video, and
that's it.
One, too. What about purple? I was like, yeah, I lost a purple one, too. That was here in this country. I don't remember where we were, but, things happen when you're on the road. It gets so hectic sometimes you can't keep up with everything, and, unfortunately, there'll be some people that just feel like they have to do that to have what they want. But
right.
The dresses were remade, never to be made the exact same again, because Linda Stokes does not do that. She's like, I will make no 2 dresses alike. So I have a chocolate version of the red dress, another kind of burnt orange version of it, but a different fabric altogether, and the design on the shoulders are different. And I think she did a black version of it.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, so you wanted to hear something. What should I play?
Let's do it. Right on.
Let me see.
Wow. Wow.
What was that? Ah. So I see some other adjustments I need to make with the violin now that I've done that. The little glitchy things in here that I hear that are different from before. So you have to be so careful because there's so much tension with the strings and on the bridge and the tailpiece. All of this is being held down from all the way up here. And there's about 80 pounds of pressure on that little piece of wood there.
Wow.
And so if anything shifts just a little bit, it just throws the whole instrument out of whack. The strings are louder on one end than the other, and you have to adjust this thing inside called a sound post, which you can see from the F holes of a violin. That's what they call these things here. These are F holes. And when you look inside, you'll see a little post in there, and if that shifts a little bit, it changes the whole sound of the instrument. So I'm still working on getting this violin tweaked for my next performance.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. I mean, all instrumentalists have something, vocalists as well, that have to deal with your instruments. And
absolutely. Absolutely. Going with the flow is what I say. And of course, Color of Jazz, y'all, we are so going with the flow tonight. We're doing some marathon shows. Karen Briggs, Walter Beasley, Ken Navarro, and Paul Brown.
All right.
Crazy. So, but awesome. So this is a great show. Great day. Lots of music. All right. Karen, thanks for playing for us live. And of course, Carl in the chat is like, wow. And yes, Carl, I hear you. And man, you know what? I got to play, and you have to tell me because I can't really pronounce it. Is it, it's number 9.
Okay, is that Scheherazade?
Yes. Scheherazade's Groove. Yeah? Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Yay! Okay, a lot of times I just, butcher stuff, so yay for me. All right, folks.
Arrangement on a classical piece by Rimsky-Korsakov, and I hope he's not mad, but I just had another feel about it, and that's how I recorded it. And
right on.
I've been receiving it very well.
Yes, that's amazing. And of course, I love when the artists put their touch on it, their feelings and emotions, and that's what you did on this one. And folks, this is one of my favorites, so please, please, please go and get the music. And I see that April's in the house. I need to give a big shout out to April.
Yes, always got to do that.
Right? Hey, April, I want to say thank you for hooking this up. And next week, we're going to have Anthony Crawford on the show. And you've hooked that up too, April. So thank you.
Bass player.
Yes, he is. And I'm so looking forward to that show with him as well. But big shout out to you. And then, folks, let me just do a shout out to Karen on Facebook. Okay. Please go to her fan page. And I think you got a couple of pages, right?
Yes, they have that 5,000 friend limit. I've had to create others, so I've done that.
Yes. So, folks, make sure you get into Facebook, get into the search, and put Karen's name in there, Karen Briggs, and she's got a couple of fan pages. Her personal page is full, but you know what? The fan page is unlimited. So bring your friends there, and of course, go to the Color of Jazz page and like the page also, so that for all of the musicians that are coming on the show, you will be kept up to date with that. And of course, Reggie, the jazz man Mitchell, will be coming back for that as well. So let's get this going, folks. Get in the chat with Karen. I'm going to get back in Facebook and Twitter. And you can also follow Karen on Twitter. And she is Sister Fiddler in Twitter. Is that correct?
Yes, it's not sister, it's
sister. Sister. Hey, folks, yeah. We'll put that in the chat for you also.
Okay.
Sister. Sister Fiddler, okay?
That's right.
There you go. All right, guys, let's do this. Enjoy. Okay, folks, that was very, very nice. And you got to get it. It's on her CD. It's Orchestral Groove. And please, 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 you know how I feel about supporting the music and supporting the artist. This is how we roll, folks. In the Color of Jazz, we support the artists who bring us the amazing, soulful, spiritual, enlightening, profound, whatever you want to call it. This is how we support them. We go to their live events. We buy their music. And we buy from reputable sources, of course, as everyone knows, right? When we're downloading, we download from reputable sources. So make sure you're doing that. And of course, that's how you support Karen Briggs. Karen, when are you coming back to Denver?
Denver, that's a good question. So far, we're still in the process of doing bookings for the remainder of the year. So far, we're up to about October, and I don't recall that Denver has popped up again yet, but I'm going to double check that because we probably due to go back to that same venue you mentioned earlier.
Yes, Soil Dove.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a couple of years since I've been there. I think Tizer has been there again since, but I was not available at the time. But I think I'm due to go back there for sure.
Yes, yes. And of course, I love watching you with Kieli and Lau and two great guys, of course. And folks, if
Uh,
you get a chance to check out Tizer, if you haven't seen Tizer yet, you gotta do that. You have three amazing artists plus the band on the stage all at once, and it's phenomenal. So make sure you check out Tizer, as well as Jazz and Pink, and of
yeah.
course, Karen Briggs.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, Karen, we are coming to the top of the hour, and Walter Beasley should be calling me here pretty soon. And Walter, I hope you got my message. And but Karen, when can I get you back on the show?
Oh gosh, let's see. I figure within a couple of months I'll probably have
Yay!
developed something else to talk about. There's always new things happening, exciting new things all the time. I'm probably going to be chasing after you when I start working on this next project, and
Please
I'm
do.
looking forward to doing another volume of this orchestral groove because you just can't get it all in one CD.
Right.
And there's just so much music out there. And I have to say, to all of the people who have been so supportive of me over these 37 years that I've been playing violin, I so appreciate you. And I feel very blessed because there's so much talent out here in the world. All the places I've traveled to, you can only imagine how much talent I've seen. I mean, just not only just violinists and vocalists and drummers and guitarists, and there's always more coming. And when I think about how many thousands, millions of people who have talent in the world, that I was actually chosen to be seen and exposed in the ways that I have,
Right? Yes.
I just feel very lucky about that, and always want to make it a point to express that gratitude for just being, I feel like, the chosen one. I mean, it's like, wow.
Yes.
I'm just a little girl who grew up in Portsmouth, Virginia, and I had no idea that this was going to take me to this place. It's really incredible.
Right on. And of course, you know what? We get to also be the chosen ones because you're on the Color of Jazz show, and I'm so, so, so excited. Ooh, we've been trying to do this for a minute, and we finally got it coming together. And of course, again, thank you, April, for making that happen and putting that together for us. both Karen and I, and just
Donna, it's
Karen.
a great thing that you're doing. We
Oh,
appreciate you. It's a really great thing that you're doing.
thank you. You know what? It's a lot of fun,
Hmm.
and I'm just excited to be able to have such incredible musicians such as yourself. For me, I'm like on fire here, folks, and I've actually this I think I kind of kept it kind of tame today. What do you think, folks? For those of you who know me on the show, and yes, again, Karen, you know what? We got to do 2 hours with you because an hour is never going to be enough ever.
Yeah, yeah, it's hard to squeeze in this much music in an hour, man.
Yes, absolutely. So, folks, you know what to do, right? You got to go and get your own copy, which is cool because you'll have it for your car, you'll have it for your iPod, whatever, you'll have it. So make sure you go and get the CD, Sochestral Groove, and once again, Karen Briggs. And here's the CD. Make sure you go and get this, okay? Go and get it, folks, and support Karen. She's amazing. And of course, we were very blessed and just honored to have her on the show. And you guys got to hang out with her in the house. I love that. So make
Yeah.
sure you're supporting our girl and check her out when she comes to a town near you. Okay? Karen, thank you.
Thank you.
And I so look forward to having you back on the show. You are welcome anytime. You don't have to put out anything new. Just come on anytime. Um,
Hey, I'll do it. And hopefully by that time the baby will be older. I can sleep through the night, and my voice will be an octave higher.
okay, you know what? Sleeping is overrated. But we'll let you get some sleep,
Boy,
okay?
you must have started calling me Mr. Briggs, huh? My voice was so low. I could hear it. I felt it. But I'm better now. But it could be better.
Okay.
Yes. But thank you for having me on here. It's a pleasure.
You know what? It's our pleasure to have you on the show. And folks, we're going to everyone say goodbye to Karen. And Karen's going to say goodbye as well in the chat. And I am hopefully, I'm hoping Walter is going to get into Skype or he's going to call me or do something so we can bring him on the show and get the ball rolling. Then, of course, Ken Navarro hangs out with us and then Paul Brown as well. So lots of music tonight. And folks, make sure you stay on your Facebooks and let folks know about Karen. And the show is recorded, folks, so you always have the show, so you can come back to it at any time. And please do, all the time. All right, folks. Karen, thank you.
Thank you, dear.
You are welcome, and I will be in touch with you and April.
All right. Thank you. You keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, folks. Okay. So we're just going to wait on Walter Beasley, and you know what? I will probably just call him on the show. And what I'm going to do is, you know what? We're going to play some more of Karen's music while we're waiting for Walter. So here's what I'm going to do from the CD, Sochestral Groove. I want to play, you know what? She talked about Triumph. Let's play that one, okay? So let's get that going. I'm going to give Walter a call and see if we can't get him on the show. And it looks like he's calling me now. Here you go, folks. Enjoy. Okay, folks. And of course, that was Karen Briggs, and you were listening to Triumph, and got Walter Beasley in the house. You probably saw him pop up, so I'm gonna get him online here, and we'll start the show with Walter, and we're gonna have lots of fun talking with him. Remember, folks, this is your chance to get in the live chat with him. Please do that, and this is how we support the music. And I think I got, oh, wait for the music while your party's being reached. Hey, Walter. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Right on. All right, folks. I've got Walter in the house. Let me bring him up. Here we go. Hey, Walter.
Hey.
Okay. Folks, we got Walter Beasley in the house. So we're going to just, right? We are going to switch gears here. We're going to bring on music from Walter. And Walter, first of all, I got to say thank you for coming on the show and hanging out with us. We got a lot of folks in the chat. I don't know if you are in the chat. I don't think so because you don't have live stream up, right?
No, I just got off because I wasn't quite sure the way this works.
Okay. So no worries for now. And if we can get you in there later, we'll do that. If not, folks will direct their questions to me. And then I, of course, can ask them as well. And we can do that. So why don't we go ahead and get started?
Okay.
Awesome. And so, Walter, give us some background on you, if you would, please.
I'm black.
No.
He's tall, single.
Hey.
Ready to mingle. No, just kidding.
How tall are you again? All right, folks, we're kidding.
I come from California, Central California, just a small town. I grew up there. Started playing music there. The short story is I moved to Boston at 18. Decided to, came to go to school to Berkeley College of Music. By that time, I was already very proficient. I had been taught by Jimmy Cannon, who was my mentor. I played in Latin bands, funk bands, a couple of contemporary Christian and rock bands by the time I got to college. So I was pretty much ready for the East Coast. I thought I was, and met Branford Marcellus, Donald Harrison, Greg Osby, Terrence Terry Conley. I mean, just a whole bunch of people. Mark Lester, who helped me become a better musician, and I just been all in it ever since.
Wow. That's awesome. So you've had a very exciting and amazing career, no doubt.
Yeah, it's been, let's see, I've done about maybe 15, 16 records, probably maybe more. I've been teaching for 28 years, been recording for about the same amount of time. So I'm a little tired.
Nice.
Very, very blessed.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And how long have you been teaching?
28 years.
Wow. Wow.
They offered me a position as soon as I graduated, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, well, because I'd help some of my some of my classmates get through some of the harmony work and the ear training work and the theory, and I knew the theory pretty well, and I could play and I could teach performance. So I was a pretty decent performer. And I started teaching. I really didn't know. I'm just starting to really know what I'm doing. And I'm having a great time. Actually, I'm having a better time as a teacher now than ever in my life than before. It's a passion of mine. I don't do it because I can't play or I can't write or I can't sing. I do it because there's a need and because I feel the need to try to make sure that the next generation coming up knows what I know so they can become better than me.
Right on. Absolutely. And, Walter, we didn't get to chat prior to the show, so hopefully we can do that at some point. Because, I feel exactly what you're saying about the younger generation, and I think it's important. It's important that, people are always complaining about jazz and how the younger generation and we're losing it, to them. But I think that, the younger generation, because of folks like you, professors, who are teaching the musicians, the younger generation, what you know, and bringing them up. And of course, we all know each one reach one, teach one. And of course, that's what you're doing. So kudos to you.
And I'm learning from them. I mean, I have educational DVDs that are now like I have iPhone apps.
Yes.
Huh?
I said yes. And can we talk about that?
Oh, and I've learned to become to use technology more, and I've learned that from them. You know, the whole Facebook thing and the
Right?
iPhone apps and the educational DVDs, for phones and all that kind of stuff. I learned from them, so it's a give and take. I mean, I tell them all the time, especially in Berkeley, and I teach on Skype too.
Ah.
And I tell people all the time, I'm like, I love being able to give people the kind of stuff that I grew up learning. But it's it puts you at a disadvantage because, you're at a point and click world. For all this stuff you can get just by pressing a mouse, and you think that all the information and all that kind of sauce that goes on the barbecue is made right now. It's not. A lot of times, and I'm a hard teacher sometimes, but I love my students. And I tell them straight up, I'm like, you sound like a microwave player. I'm like, oh, so what's a microwave player? But I tell them, I said, look, if you season food and you put it in the oven for 350 degrees for about an hour and a half, it comes out a certain way.
Yes.
If you go to the grocery store and pull out a microwave dish and go on and nuke that for about 2 minutes and 50 seconds, it tastes much different than the food that's prepared with. That's the difference between people I grew up listening to and people you're listening to now.
Right on.
Not the music, the quality of the music is not the same.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
try to do now is bridge that gap as much as possible. I don't want them to play like me. I don't want them to be like me. I want them to use the information that I know and the process by which I became me to help them further what they want to do in life.
Nice. Awesome. Well, we definitely want to come back and talk about um, your teaching, because I know you like you said, you have some iTunes programs and your apps, and then of course circular breathing. We'll come back and we'll talk about all of that. And but I want to talk about the music that Amy sent me. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to Amy for hooking all of this up and making this possible.
Shout out to Amy. Amy, it's 8:15.
Thanks, Amy. So big shout out, of course, to Amy. And you know what? I like to give a shout out to the folks who support you, and no doubt Amy is one of them. And so big shout out to her. But the music that she sent Sax Meditations, and of course Back at You and Live, Walter Beasley Live in the Groove. So we're gonna hear some music from your CDs and some of my favorites, of course, and let folks know where to get the music. And then, of course, before we do all that, Walter, I want to let you know you've got folks in the chat. And Harriet, I've got V. Crump in the chat, and Reggie the Jazzman Mitchell, and Carl. So a lot of different folks are in the chat. And so big shout out to them for hanging out with us. And
thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Chad. Thank you for coming. This is really cool. I gotta say.
Yay!
It really is. I mean, when I think about all the years that I put in, to think that you could bypass record companies or big publishing,
yes,
publicity people, and go right into the home of the artist that you like.
Right.
It's pretty amazing thing, and I'm very surprised. No, I'm not surprised because a lot of the younger people, or even the people who are my fans, kind of take it for granted now. Even the whole Facebook thing. I remember today I kind of got a little upset because somebody sent me an email on Facebook because they were angry that I didn't respond to them. I'm like, if you check that I have 5,000 friends, on it, and I can't, and I thought about it. Yes, she expects me to respond to her because, people have taken for granted the fact that, you have this easy access to somebody who moved you. So I couldn't
That's
get
right.
really angry with her. But sometimes I think we take for granted the ability to go right to the source and say, you know what, ask them a question, or, it's a great thing to be able to communicate with people one-on-one.
Absolutely.
Think about my favorite was Grover Washington Jr. I'm always thinking now, man, if I had that direct access to
Right?
Grover and be able to study with him on Skype, or man, you wouldn't even be having this interview right now.
Well, I'm thankful for this time, this day and age, right now, and we have you live. And it is a cool thing, and it's one of the things that makes this so special for me is that the folks your fans get to hang out with you in the chat and talk directly to you, but so do I. And so for me, it's just like, oh my God, I got Walter Beasley on my show. So this is awesome.
Opportunity. I really appreciate the opportunity.
So do I. Thank you. So, got a couple of questions in the chat, and then, folks, we're going to get to some music because an hour is not enough. Trust me. And but Harriet wants to know: do you have a favorite song, Walter, and why?
Man. You always will always say, my songs are like children, and I love the ball and all that kind of stuff. And,
Right.
I just think it's a real cop out to a certain extent, because there's some songs that I think her presence off Sax Meditation, the live version and the real version, because the Sax Meditation CD, because it's just the person that I wrote that after, or before. I had never really captured the essence of what I felt when I saw her in any instrumental that I've ever written, except for that tune. Her presence. That tune. It every time it comes on, and I can see her in my mind. So I think that's probably my favorite instrumental. My favorite vocal tune, I think, recently is "Lovely Day." The remake that I did of "Lovely Day" that was produced by Big Dog Davis off Back at You.
Right on.
And I think the older songs, I think "If You Ever Love Someone That Lost" or "Don't Say Goodbye" are two of my favorites from back in the day. Those are my favorites, I think.
Okay. Well, you know what? Her presence is my favorite as well. Well, I can't say it's my favorite. It's one of them because I've got a lot of favorites from Sax Meditation. And folks, here's the CD. You know how I feel about CDs and music. I, of course, want you to order the CD. I know we've lost a lot of record stores due to the internet. However, you can go to Amazon.com and order the CD. I just think it's more personal for both folks, for me and for Walter. If I have a CD in my hand, it's personal for me because I get to take the time to read all about who he's thanking and who helped him with this CD, who's supporting him, all of his musicians and the producers. We can't forget about the producers and things like that. So it's very personal to get the CD. And then when you see him, you guys, you got the CD in your hand, get it signed. So that's my soapbox. And of course, I want you to purchase the music. Don't download from crazy sites. Make sure you're going to a reputable site and you're getting his music. If you have to get it digitally, then get the entire CD. You can't get one song off of Sax Meditations or any of his CDs. You can't get one song and be satisfied. It's the whole experience of the artist of the CD. So make sure you do that. Okay, that's my soapbox. So, all right, folks, let me give you a taste of Sax Meditations. And let's start with Her Presence. Very, very moving. And the Sax Meditations, you know what? The CD is it's very soothing, very meditative. And I think
that's my favorite CD.
That's it. You know what, Walter, you did it well. It's off the hook. And
that saved my life.
Really?
Yeah, I was going through a very, very bad time. I lost my second mother. Her name was Minnie Dangerfield, and I'm in Boston now. And I grew up in California, and never knew life without her. So when that happened, music didn't do it for me anymore.
Hmm.
And I went down, I think Florida for a minute, and I just cried for about 3 4 days, and I just started writing these pieces, and they started making me feel better. And the next thing I knew, I'd written 12, and I said, you know what? If this makes me feel like this, and this gets me through the day,
Yes.
it helps bring me joy and eases my, whatever I'm going through, and let everybody else feel it too.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's the beauty of music. And I'm sure you talk to your students about that. It is the music that is, I mentioned this on my earlier show, that the music is the soundtrack of our life. You can remember everywhere you were when you hear a certain song. It's like her presence. You know why that is so special to you and will always be special to you. So all right, folks, I got to get some music on from Walter. And again, from Sax Meditations, please make sure you are getting this. Let's listen to this. Come back, get in the chat, and I will relay messages to Walter. And hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about it. But enjoy this, Her Presence. folks. Okay, definitely digging that, and of course her presence, and Walter Beasley, and I think Walter is able to see the show now. We were talking about getting him in. Um, Walter, are you seeing both of us?
Yes, but I'm getting ready to get off this because it's so the delay is so bad that I'm going to crack myself up.
Walter, look into the camera. Don't look at the show then.
Oh, okay, you're right.
So look into the camera. There you go. So you know what? If nothing else, Walter, you will see the chat, and because there was a couple of questions in there, and a couple of comments, and of course, Harriet is saying this is nice, and it sounds like the title. Yes, meditative, very meditative, folks, and this is a great CD, and really, it's very relaxing, and of course, that was your intention when you made this.
I see somebody saying, let's stop worrying about the damage and make people happy. And that, that's very, very true. I think I think the stress, and I mean, I get a little controversial sometimes when I speak, but I think the stress of the music industry, the stress to make music that is popular to a conglomerate or to a major record company, puts a lot of tax, it puts a lot of stress on artists to do something that they don't really want to do.
Yes.
If you take a look at some of our, just an extreme example, Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston, I mean, when I think about it, the inordinate amount of stress they must have been under, to produce that kind of stuff or, whatever. It's a very difficult situation to be in. I tell my students now, I tell my colleagues too, I'm like, look, I make a decent living, and I'm not even an heiress. I never even liked the whole process with Grammy. That's just my own personal thing, because it was so stressful and so made up and all that kind of stuff. I think that we need to really get back and just make music for the people. If you sell 1,000 or sell 20,000 or 200,000 or 2 million, you do. But you need to I think we need to start making music that reflects how we feel on a day-to-day basis. If I'm mad, I want to write mad music.
Right on.
Hate music and love music. I don't want to sit up there and, listen to people, bump and grind. That's just not me. And then you make music. I don't know. I was thinking about this today. You go on Facebook or you listen to people and the girls in the club and they're doing their thing and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's no intimacy in the music. There's no intimacy in the interaction. All that stuff is now gone because people are making music for corporations. And that's not the way I learned how to play. It's not the way I learned how to write. It's not the way I learned how to sing. And that's why a lot of people aren't in the game anymore and won't ever be in the game because there's no intimate connection with the person who's trying to connect with.
Yes.
Don't learn to do that. If you don't learn to do that one thing, your career will be very short. Now, you can make $1 million in 10 minutes, no problem. But do you want to make $1 million over 30 years? Or do you want to make $1 million and lose it all and in 2 years be irrelevant because you don't know how to talk to a person? You don't know how to move a person. You don't know how to do any of those things. And that's where we are now. And that's what I try and teach and what I try to convey to my kids.
Right on. Absolutely. You know what? So well put. And you're right, because music is about movement. It's about the sound. You know what? Music is with your senses, your five senses. You hear it, you see it, you smell it, you taste it. It's that good. And when it is that good, and that's what you're talking about. You have to be able to do that. And you're right. The one hit sensations are just that, So definitely like the artist that can stand the test of time. And like you said, if you want to make mad music, then you never know who needs to hear that. It's our stories. And fortunately for us, we get to hear your stories through your music. I love that.
Right. Even when I wrote the song called "If You Ever Loved Someone and Lost the Song for You," I mean, it was my song. I mean, I was recording a record, and I asked her to stay. She wanted to get married. I didn't really know about women going into their 30s, getting kind of like, yo, marry me now kind of thing. And, I was young, and I was into music, and I didn't learn, and next thing I knew, she was gone, to somebody who would marry her very quickly. So, that was, and I would go on the road, and, guys would come up and be like, well, thank you so much for saying that, so many times I felt that, but I couldn't, my boys were kind of hardcore, but it's nice to hear somebody, going through exactly the That's all I need. Let me sell, what I need to sell. But that if I'm going on that level, then I know that I'll be able to be in this game as long as I want to, and make the kind of music that makes me happy and tells my story and that tells the story of other folks.
Yes, yes, yes. And I don't know about you folks, but I just got a shiver just listening to that, and because the music is just that profound. And
Yeah.
I want to put some more music on, and of course, I want to recognize Bernard. Bernard is a saxophonist, and he's in the house. So big shout out to Bernard Walter, if you would.
Yes, but what's happening?
Right? And of course, he says, loved your teaching video. One beat, one chord at a time.
Ah, hip hop groove improvisation. That's my iPhone thing.
Yes. And you know what? We were gonna come back and talk about that. So
Okay.
how can folks, of course, get your videos and your apps? What's the best place to do that?
If you go, this is very simple. If you go to walterbeasley.com and just hit the tab, there's an apps tab up there, and then take you directly to the iPhone page, and you just get whatever you want. There's actually the CD we're talking about, Fact Meditation, is an iPhone app also. But what I did is I took photography, and I put the photography to the music. So now if you download, you get the photography and the music on the iPhone. So if you're having a rough moment or a rough hour at work, and you just put it on, you get to see the
Yes.
inspiration and stuff that along with the music. So it's kind of interesting. So if you hit the iPhone app, if you hit the app, go to walterbeasley.com and hit the app.
Right on. Right on. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's put on Lovely Day. And,
Yeah.
that's an awesome. And I got to play that, folks. Lovely Day. I think you will like this as much as I do. And, of course, as much as Walter does as well. Walter, will you get in the chat or no?
Huh?
Can you get in the chat or no?
I don't have a name for the chat.
How about Walter Beasley?
Oh, I have to sign up and all that? I don't have my glasses on. It's not a good.
All right. All right. Okay. No worries. You know what? Just smile pretty for the camera like you've been doing. And we're going to play some more music. And, folks, we're in the chat. So get in the chat with Walter and I and ask your questions there. He can see your questions. So he can respond to you. So get in the chat with him. I'm going to go to Walter's Facebook page and let folks know, hey, are you missing out? You need to get on the show with Walter. But let me get Lovely Day on, and then I'll be in the chat with you guys. Here we go, folks. Enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy. Lovely Day.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes. When something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just want to look at you, babe, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day. A lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day. Shabba-dibba-dee-dee-ow. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me, yeah, always seems to know the way. Oh, just wanna look at you, babe, and the world's alright with Walter. Oh, just wanna look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. It's gonna be a lovely day. I love you in the morning. I love you 'cause you're you. Anyone who tries to do anything to me, all I have to do is say love you. Love it, love it, love it. It's gonna be a lovely day. Love it, love it, love you.
All right, folks. I know you was digging on that. Walter, who's on vocals?
I am.
Ah! Wow. Nice.
Actually, the first song that made me popular in the 80s was a song I wrote called Don't Say Goodbye. There was a regional hit in D.C. and other places, and I tell the story that when the record company called to Walker, I think we got a hit. I said, okay, let me get my sax. They said, no, don't bring your sax. I said, what you mean? They said, they like this song you sing called Don't Say Goodbye. And I got to D.C., and that's how my career started.
Nice.
And I did bring my sax, and sure enough, I went under playing all the great stuff that I had learned. And nobody just sat there. Everybody, the Beverly Sisters of D.C., they just like, okay.
When you gonna sing again?
I started singing Don't Say Goodbye. I was like, okay, I guess they were right. So, that's why I tell people, you never know what's going to be your ticket in. So I try to make sure that the younger people don't become myopic in their view of the music industry, and don't just do one thing very well. Do assortment of things extremely well, because, if you're going to go all in, and just make sure that you're diverse in the way you present your art to the community, and they'll support you.
Right on. Absolutely. And folks, this is how we support the music. And we go and see Walter when he is performing live. And of course, we get the CDs. And as Walter says, he's got, was it 15? Did I leave off some? How many CDs?
I think 16 or 17.
Okay.
I don't say this because of anything else other than I try not to count, because if I start counting, then I'll start smelling myself as a young cat saying. I don't like, I don't ever want to put myself in a position where I start saying, I got 17, 18, 19, and that's just not the way I am. So I just try to just do one and forget about it, keep going, forget about it, keep going, forget about it. And I think they're about 16 or 17 out there.
Right on.
So I'm very blessed and very appreciative, but at the same time, I know that once you start counting, that's when you can end up in trouble.
Right. And of course, the chat is moving along, and Renee is saying, can we hear that again, Donna? Tell you what, go to Amazon or go to iTunes and get the whole CD, okay? Especially Sax Meditation, because it is so meditative. And we all could use the meditation music in our life, number one, and that the CD is hot. So you got to get it.
Oh, if I could say this one thing.
Absolutely.
If you have problems with blood pressure or stress or any of those things, I'm going to guarantee you one thing, that after you listen to Sax Meditations, your number will be much, much better. I know, because I got a copy in my car, I got a copy in the house, I got a copy of my iPhone, a copy of my iPad, a copy, I have a copy at work. I have 5 copies, not just because it's my record, it's just because I have a little bit of high blood pressure. Sure enough, every time I put that sucker on, it goes right down. And that's all that's, if nothing else, if it helps. And actually, I just advised getting ready to use it for women who are giving birth. And what do you call it? Prenatal or I don't know what you call it, because I never had a baby, But I guess when they're in the delivery, that when this is playing, I've had a couple of women say, it really, really, really helps with the delivery. So if you're pregnant, buy Sax Meditation.
That's true. That is true. And so that the baby will be nice and calm. Put the headphones on your tummy, females. I mean, this is for the women, of course. Put it on your tummy so that the baby can hear the music as well. I'm just saying. I swear by that. Okay? And let's see. Oh, Walter. Okay, V, I'm going to apologize to you right now. I don't have Nice and Easy, but I'm going to play one of my absolute favorites, Visions.
I was thinking about that this morning, actually. That's all.
Well, you know what? I got the telepathic message, and
Wow.
okay, yes, I gotta play that, folks.
Yeah,
And
we did pretty well with that one.
yeah, that's hot. So let me play this. I love, love, love this. Let's play this. Get in the chat with Walter, and he's looking at the chat, so he sees what you're saying to them. And of course, Paul Sequence Ferguson is saying hi, room. He's saying hello to everyone in the chat. So make sure that you guys welcome Paul to the house. All right, you guys, I gotta play one of my favorite songs. So let me get Visions rolling for you, and I want you guys to enjoy this as much as I do. There's so many songs that I love. Brock's Groove, and okay, let me stay on task with Visions. Here we go, folks. Enjoy this. Put your chat, put your words in the chat for Walter. He's there. He's reading the chat, and we're all enjoying you guys being in the chat. So make sure that you get in the chat. Here we go, folks. Visions.
People hand in hand, have I lived to see the milk and honey land, where hate's a dream and love forever stands? Is this a vision in my mind? Law was never passed. Somehow all men feel they're truly free at last. Have we really gone this far through space and time? Or is this a vision in our mind? In our mind. I'm not one who make believes. I know that leaves are green. They only turn to brown when autumn comes around. I know just what I say. Today's not yesterday, and all things have an ending. But what I like to know is, could a place like this exist so beautiful? Or do we have to spread our wings and fly away to the vision in our mind? In our I'm not one who make believes. I know that leaves are green. They only turn to brown when autumn comes around. I know just what I say. Today's not yesterday, and all things have an ending. But what I like to know is, could a place like this exist so beautiful? Or do we have to spread our wings and fly away to the visions in our mind? In our mind. Spread my wings. Ooh, fly away. It's just a vision in my mind.
Woo! Okay. Love that.
That was all right. Can I just ask a couple of these? Is that okay? Because I can see them.
Yeah, absolutely.
The tour, the question about the tour, no, I don't tour a whole lot. The question, and the reason why is because I've seen the tour school for a whole lot of lives. Cats, you don't see behind the scenes like I see. And a lot of cats out there having some difficult times, male and female on the road. So, and I just wanted to make sure that I didn't abuse my body the way I saw other people abusing theirs. So I tour when I want to, or tour when I feel it's appropriate and necessary. But I don't want to go out like a couple of, I want to own my career. I don't want my career to own me.
Right on.
But as far as Atlanta goes, we may be doing Atlanta this summer. I don't have a particular. There's a person who asked who was singing on that. I'm singing on Visions. Actually, I sing on all my records. I don't think if you get them on YouTube, or iTunes, you don't know. But that's my second instrument, my voice. That's saxophone.
Woo!
First is good, but the second, I like to sing. Love to play saxophone, but the voice is something that I've been blessed with. Let me see, Benny. Thank you, Benny. Some Crown, Reading, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I'm doing Reading, Pennsylvania actually Friday with Jell Beasley, Brian Simpson, and I shouldn't have gone down this road. Lon Trotman, my homeboy from Boston. Somebody else. Nick Coleon.
Nick Coleon. Right on.
Yeah, that should be fun. And next month I do Cleveland with Joe Albright, Brian Simpson, and a couple other people, I think. So, in saying that, I don't tour a lot, but I do tour, and I do go out pretty expensive.
Right on.
That said, at this stage in my career, I'm going to be slowing down even more because it's time for me to settle down, find a wife, and do stuff normal people did all their lives. I committed to music, and I'm very, very grateful for the support that you all have given me. And it's great and all, but for everything there's a season, and I'm coming down to the close of this thing. So I love music, and I love what I'm doing, but I'm not going to be doing it for that much longer.
Okay. Wow. Well, there you have it, folks. And, of course, I got to give a big shout out to Benny. Benny was on the show, New Foundation. Benny Sims and, of course, Curtis Harmon, they were on the show, and that show is recorded, and you guys can see the archives and check that out. And, of course, Bernard Rose. So, and I'm looking at the, I think both Harriet and I raised our hand, Walter, when you said you needed to settle down. So,
oh, yeah, because those people who know Walter Beasley, yeah, they've been saying that for a minute.
No, we're not. We weren't saying that you needed to settle down. We were talking about the whole wife part.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I really don't think a man is meant to be alone. don't. I really don't. And no, and music has been my companion all these years, and she's been good to me. But it's time. It's time.
Well, there you have it, folks. Ladies, there you have it. All right. Walter, I know you don't do long interviews. However,
Hey, you and Amy talk too long.
you know what? I gotta plant the seed, and I'm gonna plant this on this global show. Put a little bit of pressure on you. But would you come back and hang out with us?
I'd love to. I think this is it's a beautiful opportunity. I wish we had more time, and I'm just very grateful for the opportunity anytime.
Yay! Will you do a 2 hour show with me? Okay. Hour and a half.
You know what? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Just because you asked like that, I like that.
Yay! Okay.
That would be. I think that would be my first. That would be the first time I ever did a 2 hour interview ever.
Okay. Well, you know what? I am so honored. And wow. Okay, well, I'm going to hook that up with Amy. So, you are so welcome on the Color of Jazz anytime. Anytime. You want to come and hang out and talk music. You don't have to have a new CD out. A lot of artists think they have to have music out before they can come on and talk and be on interviews. I'm saying just come and hang out. This show is about hanging out with your favorite fans and favorite artists. That's what this show is about. It's not about so much promoting your newest CD. It's about hanging out with you.
Right, and you're in my living room. I'm like, this is some wild stuff, man.
Right?
I'm still looking around like I'm really at home.
And you know what? And the show is recorded so people can see us anytime. And so it's the beauty of the show. So I cannot wait to have you back on the show because we're going to have a lot of fun. And, I love your energy. And, of course, the music is just amazing. Your music is amazing. And an hour, we're never, ever, ever going to be able to touch on your music in an hour. We won't do it in 2 hours, but we'll at least have some more time to hang out. And yes, Benny wants to know, did you sing Inner Vision?
Yes, I did. I'm saying that yes, I did.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, folks. I told you tonight was just a music-packed evening. I've never done this before where I've done 4 shows back to back to back. So I'm a little scattered. However, I got to get prepared for Ken Navarro. Walter, Ken's had to tell you hello.
Tell Ken that's my boy. Yo, Ken is a wonderful musician. Please support his music. I studied actually under Ken because when I started to do my own stuff by myself, my own record company and all that kind of stuff, I studied Ken and called Ken up, and he was just an amazing person to talk to, an amazing resource, and just a wonderful guy, great family man, and just I love the way he and his wife are just really, if I may say, pimping the game. So you tell him I said hello.
I will, and hopefully he's kind of hanging out and heard all that. But if not, we'll pass it on. But Walter, again, I'm so looking forward to having you back on the show and hanging out, of course, with your fans and, of course, me and us hanging out with you in your living room. This is what it's all about, for you to be relaxed and, and just to hang out and chat with us. This has been an honor. And yes, you have a beautiful voice. And of course, we want to hear more of your music. Folks, I didn't get to put this up, so I want to put this up real quick before we let Walter go. And I'm going to put the camera on me so I can find this. But it's Walter's website, okay? It's very important that you check out his website and you check him out, of course. Make sure that you are supporting him. Music is very important to all of us. And the way that Walter puts it down, you gotta support him. And of course, the music is amazing. So you can see Walter, he's still up there in the corner. And here's his site. Okay. Hey, Walter. I don't think I have on this one. Do I have your website correct?
That's my site.
I was going to say, do I have that correct?
That says Color of Jazz with Walter Beasley.
Yeah.
No,
but
my website is walterbeasley.com.
Right. Do you see that on there? The second one? www.walterbeasley.com.
My glasses on.
I'm sorry. Oh, y'all just put him on blast. I am so sorry.
It's time for me to go.
All right, folks, it is time, and not because he didn't have his glasses on. That's not the reason. It's time because it's top of the hour, and Ken is getting ready to come on. I'm gonna play another song from Walter Beasley, and I'm gonna go back to the sax meditation, and I'm gonna put on Oceanside, and then everyone say goodbye to Walter in the chat. Walter, I cannot wait.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yes. I look forward to having you back on the show, and we'll do that as soon as you can, okay?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Walter.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too. All right, folks. How fun was that, huh? This is what it's about. So excited to have him on the show. All right, enjoy this. Walter?
Yeah.
All right, folks. I'm going to bring down the meditation music. And if you can still hear it in the background, I hope you can. So here's what I got to do. On live stream or in live stream, I only can broadcast for a certain amount of hours. And then it shuts me off. So in order to bring Ken on the show, Ken Navarro, I'm going to stop this broadcast and bring it back up, and we will have Ken Navarro in the house. So sit tight, folks. I'm not leaving. I'm just merely going to index this song, or excuse me, this show, so I don't lose it. And Ken Navarro will be in the house. So give me a couple of minutes to save this show, so we'll have it in the archives. And sit tight. Ken Navarro is coming up next. And I have to thank all of you for hanging out. This has just been amazing. So that's Ken. So I'm going to stop the show, and I'll be right back. Sit tight.